did you contact our family support service?
Well, I was diagnosed in November 2015. I just needed to find out more information about autism and just needs more help and support.
My son, Josh, he was having a lot of difficulties. He wouldn't go to school. He closed up completely. I didn't know where else to turn. Yeah, I felt alone until I got in contact with Kat.
It's been a real struggle, but the first people that helped us were Kent Autistic Trust. I remember I found them online, almost straight away when I was looking into, I think almost before the diagnosis, just trying to understand what was happening, because it was such a lot to deal with.
So what they done was they sort of advised us what was out there for him, what support we can get elsewhere. He has also got quite a bad speech impediment, so they also helped us with that as well. But the main thing really they did, which, although it doesn't seem a big thing, she just sat and listened for us for about 2 to 3 hours.
Just being there to support me, because a single parent that doesn't have a loud voice. But when you've got a charity that's not government-led and not school-led, then they're independent and they will actually give you proper sound advice and help you and guide you.
In this last year, Jo has helped with EHCP and going through the appeal process with that, and then helping with finding a suitable school and sorting out transport. So yeah, she's been invaluable.
It's made me less isolated. I've been able to mix with other people, gets me out and about, get free bickies at the place. So and that's it, and a cup of tea, and it's just a nice little chat and monthly little meetings.
Well, it's helped by giving me the information that enabled me to get a diagnosis, and it at every stage that I went through, right from asking for the referral in the first place, at every stage the Kent Autistic Trust has been there with information and support for me. So I don't know if I would have got a diagnosis without it.
And they've just been fantastic. They've really helped us every step of the way, just trying to understand the diagnosis, trying to make sense of everything. With the support groups, they've been amazing.
Supporting me through the long process. It took about a year to get ESA, and also the women's group has been a real support as well, just being with other women like me sort of thing. It's really good to have that support. Yeah.
Oh God, where do I start? A year ago he wouldn't come out of his room, he wouldn't talk to people, he wouldn't socialise, wouldn't do nothing. But now he don't stop talking. He's in it, and it's just been one real long journey with him, but he's changed. He's just not the same child he was like a year ago, and to me that's all to do with getting in contact with Kat.
Truthfully, I really don't know. I think I would have sunk, and I just think we would have spiralled downward without that support. Having on the end of a phone or an email, when I'm awake in the middle of the night, I can email Jo, get it all off my chest, and it's gone, and I know that she will reply. And same as for the drop-in, just to go along and chat to other parents. It's brilliant.
I have absolutely no idea. I was at my wit's end trying just to get people to sit up and help us, but once I found Kent Autistic Trust, I was so supported. I do not understand. I don't know what anybody else would have done for us. There's a real lack of services in our area.
Wouldn't have the women's group, so they would make life much more difficult. Not having that physical support. Just make life more difficult, really.
I have no idea. No idea. When you first have your child diagnosed with autism, there's so much to take on board and you don't know where to turn, and there is no single place certainly in Kent, as far as I'm aware, where you can find out all the answers about all sorts of things. And actually, I think the Family Support Service provides that, because there's so much experience there with Jo. She seems to know about all kinds of aspects of autism and the system generally. It's been, I don't know what I would have done, really.
I think possibly there would have been much greater intervention from other agencies, which probably wouldn't really have been needed, but just simply because the family was at such a breaking point. I think it quite likely that we would have to have moved our son temporarily from school, or that he would have been excluded, just because there was no agency at that point who could offer us sound advice on behavioural management and just give you that support that you're not going completely mad. Because up till then it had very much been put down as a parenting problem, and to actually have somebody to come in and say, no, this might not be a parenting problem, there might actually be a problem here that needs to be sorted outside of parenting, was just such a huge relief.
Just muddled through, probably with a lot more difficulty, a lot more hard times. The most important thing, I think, with the trust as well, and because Max was diagnosed very early, was diagnosed at 3, is that we were forearmed. So to go into everything knowing the knowledge, which is what we got from Jo as well. So having that knowledge moving forward. So if we hadn't have had that, then he wouldn't probably be in the school that we've got him into now. He wouldn't have had the speech therapy, so his speech wouldn't be as good as it is now. And all of that has come out of the trust. So again, without it, I don't actually know where we would be now, to be honest.
I've struggled along and would have been in a worse state, isolated and in poor health. And I think because there's such a dearth of assistance in Kent, you guys carry the can for assistance for the county, really. I mean, the reality is the money is all in the London boroughs. When you get out to Kent, Surrey out, you've had it.
Would I recommend? Of course I would recommend. I would recommend anybody, and I have done. I've been on to other courses and people didn't always know about the Kent Autistic Trust, and I've passed over details and the website details. So yes, I would definitely recommend, because it is so hard to get a diagnosis, and once you've got that diagnosis, you're left there stranded and you don't always know where to go. So yeah, you need that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know many I don't really know. I didn't really know anyone, or I don't really know a lot of people with ASD children. But if I did, I would always recommend Kat.
Always. I've done it twice this week already. Give them the leaflet or give them the phone number and say this is the one contact that you will really find helpful.
Would I recommend? Yes, 120%.
Yes, definitely. I do all the time.
Absolutely. 100%. And I still need you. Loads.
Would you recommend us?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You've done an awful lot over the last sort of 4 or 5 years, so yeah. Long may it continue, really.
Yes, definitely. Just as I said before, been very helpful, helping me understand myself more, and just been very supportive, helping me get the funding, and having a women's group. Yeah. And also for the adult group as well, that my mum and sister go to.
Yes, definitely. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I would do without you guys. Yeah, fantastic. Really, really great. I mean, if it wasn't for you, then we wouldn't have any help, because all roads lead back to Kent Autistic Trust. It doesn't matter whether you ask a doctor, the DWP, or whoever's advising us about how to help Sarah. Everyone ends up recommending Kent Autistic Trust, and they say, "Oh, have you tried them?" We're like, "Yeah, we know all about them. They've been helping us for years." So yeah, I don't know what. If it wasn't for you, there'd be no one. It feels like that anyway. No one who would care.